We did see what happened to Georgia Tech on Saturday. Chase, I am so sorry that your Yellow Jackets, they're in the losing column for the first time this season. Rough game at NC State. What ultimately did Tech in?
When you give up over 500 yards on offense, it's really hard to beat anybody. And so, we knew it was going to be a hostile environment going in. Our first real night game of the season. It was their homecoming as well. And so, they came in with an extra sense of vibrato. And so, it's kind of hard. Haynes King, he had a legendary performance, I feel like, and added on to the Heisman campaign. Over 400 yards passing, 100 yards rushing, and he's just been consistent all season long. And so, they exploited us on defense, and so they found a lot of ways to make plays and just stuff like this. You can't win when you let plays like that happen. And so, it's good. We're going into the bye week. We can regroup and finish the season strong.
You mentioned it, NC State. They racked up 583 total yards of offense on Tech's defense. How does Tech's defense turn it around, especially when you have a little bit of a break here before they play again?
I think this is a time where everybody has to look in the mirror, and so this is where Coach Fisher used to say at Texas A&M, the games in November, they remember those. And so I think this is the bye week couldn't have came at a better time for us, and so I think it's just a time for us to get healthy, number one, regroup defensively, watch this game, take it for what it is, and the eye in the sky doesn't lie when we're watching film. And then, like I said, these next 3 games will really make or break our season to see where we want to be. So.
Okay, home team. He said Haynes King had a legendary performance. He did. He threw for over 400 yards. He rushed for over 100. The guy does anything possible to put his team in a position to win a football game, yet ultimately they were short, which stinks when you have over 500 yards of total offense and you're in the losing column. But what did you think about Haynes?
I call him king of the city. He is the life beat, the heartbeat of Georgia Tech right now. And it was just too bad. They couldn't get stopped. They got pushed around, and I'm sure Brink, he did not like that at all. Some busted plays, but your quarterback, he did everything. And I think his passing stats won't be there when you start talking about the Heisman Trophy and how they look at stats and how many yards passing and how many touchdown passes. But I really think if he ends up with 20 rushing touchdowns, leads the ACC in rushing, no matter where the Jackets finish up, that should be a good enough resume at the end to at least get him to an invite to sit down for the Heisman Trophy ceremony.
I'm going to give you an opportunity, Chase, here.
Okay.
To talk about Haynes King and why you think he should be a Heisman Trophy candidate and winner.
I think when you look at the body of work, I think when you look at when Haynes arrived at Georgia Tech back in the spring of 2023 and where that program was pretty much the laughing stock of not only college football but the ACC on top of that, and to see where we've taken it, and just me being a part of the first 2 years of that initial year Coach Key came in and seeing where Haynes has taken the program. When you think of Georgia Tech football, like that is Haynes King, and he embodies that entire program. And Coach Key has alluded to it. I don't think there's another player in the country that is as valuable that he is at Georgia Tech. He's responsible for our entire offense, and he's our leader. Like you said, he's the king of the city, and he constantly is finding ways to put the team on his back, make plays in the biggest of moments and the crucialest of moments, and just he's the overall gamer.
I hate they lost that game.
I know.
400 yards passing, 100 yards rushing. If they had won that game and still been undefeated, it was still a great game. But people like when you win to accentuate your accolades, and that would have been phenomenal. A man putting up 500 yards of offense to go into a Heisman potential run.
There's still a path to an ACC championship for Georgia Tech.